Hello and welcome to another episode of Wheel of Horror Halloween, the podcast where Joe and Alec are covering every one of the Hellraiser movies leading up to today, Halloween. And today we're talking Hellraiser Judgment, which was released in 2018 and was directed by Gary J. Tunnicliffe. I'm your co-host Alec, and finally, in the final layers of hell, joining me again is Joe Testa. Welcome back, Joe.
Thank you, Alec, and we did it. I mean, no matter what you think of this movie, no matter what I think of this movie, we have completed this epic journey. And I mean, not a lot of people can say, I mean, horror fans, yeah, but not a lot of people could say they have seen every Hellraiser movie. So,
Not
I
even a
mean,
lot of horror fans. I
true,
mean,
true,
I hadn't seen the
yeah.
vast majority of these, but I'm so glad that I did. Regardless of the mediocrity of most of them, I'm still very happy I saw them all.
You're part of a very exclusive club, sir. But yeah, I mean, we made it.
I
We made
know.
it. Can't believe
Yeah. So Joe and I, we're gonna obviously talk about this. We're gonna do a little ranking at the end of our favorite, or I guess least favorite into the favorites of the series, and then yeah, that's it. This has been quite the journey. So we're finally at the end. I did cover the original Hellraiser and the remake. So if anybody wants to listen to those episodes, those are ugh, I don't know, hundreds of episodes back. But if you just type in Wheel of Horror Hellraiser, it'll pop up. But anyways, so today, Hellraiser Judgment 2018. You were saying it was directed by like the makeup guy for most of the Hellraiser movies. Is that right?
Yeah, Gary Tunnicliffe, he wrote the movie we talked about yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and he was supposed to direct that. That was going to be his directorial debut. And apparently I read that he was working on effects for Scream 4.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that he had that conflict. He couldn't do it. And he had been apparently pitching Hellraiser movies to Dimension for years.
Huh.
So finally because I guess they were, they needed something to put in front of cameras or they were going to lose the rights. They were like, "All right, fine, Gary, what do you got?" So
What?
and there is a good time gap between this movie and the last movie.
Yeah, six
Um,
years.
yeah, okay. So yeah, I think he was going to try and get this made as a just a completely original independent film,
Mm.
and then eventually it turned back into a Hellraiser movie. Once again, it's funny, we are actually getting Hellraiser movies that were meant to be Hellraiser movies right at the end, you know?
Yeah, what the hell? They did this series so backwards. It's like most of these movies were not Hellraiser movies. They, superimposed Pinhead into it, and then the final two are like, actually, these were
Right.
originally. And this one's, dude, like much better than Revelations. So the fact that this guy wrote both of them, I'm like, what the hell?
Mhm.
But in a weird way, I kind of wish this guy was in charge earlier because like his ideas aren't bad. And this one's like kind of okay, like compared to the other ones. I don't mean, how do you feel about it?
It should be said too, I mentioned it in our Hellraiser Deader episode. He directed the short film
Right.
No More Souls. And
Right.
I didn't realize this. He actually played Pinhead in that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dude. And he's the architect in this, right?
The Auditor.
Oh, the auditor, the auditor. Yeah.
Yes.
Dude,
Yes.
he's not bad.
Dude, he's my
Like,
favorite character in this movie.
yeah,
You know,
like his acting is good.
yeah, I love that character. Like I kind of wish he was in a better Hellraiser movie. Like
Yeah.
and the performance is good and the look. I mean, whatever I say about that, honestly, I'm probably going to say quite a few not kind things about this movie, but as far as the effects go, at least the practical makeup effects,
Yeah.
I think this movie is pretty pretty impressive. And
Yeah.
yeah, he's been involved. I think he was involved going back to Hell on Earth,
Oh,
believe it
yeah.
or not.
So this guy's
So
like
he's
on the sidelines watching. He's like, I could do this. I could do
yeah,
this. What the hell?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. And it's cool he finally got his shot, even though I think he had 2 weeks to complete this, and
oh my God,
an insanely low budget. But yeah, it's kind of a feel-good story.
dude. Good for him. I mean,
Yeah.
it's this one, like, I don't know. They did, it seems like more with this than they did with Revelations. So if it's like
Mhm.
comparable budgets, this felt better. Pinhead is like so much better in this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So they realized their mistake from the previous one.
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, dude, the plot's just Seven.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
it's
Yep.
literally just like a Diet Coke version of Seven. And
It's almost a Diet Coke version of Hellraiser Inferno. I mean, it's
right.
like
They
we're
all
that
have.
far removed, you know. Yeah, I mean, if you ask me about this movie, because I had only seen this one in Revelations one other time,
Oh wow.
and yeah, and the last time I watched this is when the one and only other time was when I did my big Hellraiser binge around when we covered Candyman. So it's
Mm,
been a while.
yeah,
But if you ask me what I remembered, it would be that this movie looks better. It's not saying much, but it looks better than
definitely.
Revelations.
Yeah.
It has some really striking visuals. Pinhead is so much better. It isn't even funny,
Yeah.
both in the performance and visually. But there are also moments that I absolutely hate in this movie.
Oh, I'm excited to hear what they are.
They're just like they honestly kind of ruin the movie for me.
Whoa. Oh my God,
Yeah, yeah. So
Joe.
I know I'm really like I'm psyched to hear that you're leaning positive on this one. I'm really yeah, I mean, how could you not be after last week? But there are a few moments in this movie that and maybe part of it is both times I've watched this, I've literally binged this entire series, and
Yeah.
by the time we get here, it's just like no more. No, I'm in my own version of hell by the time we get here, you know?
That's exactly how I feel too. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, this I don't think this is a good movie. I just think compared to like what we've been going through, like
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's comparably better than some
Hmm.
of them, but
It's definitely more competent in a lot of areas.
yeah.
And it's yeah, I mean, if we want to just kind of get into it,
Yeah, let's do
like,
it. I want to hear your gripes.
well, we have this opening scene.
Yeah.
Um,
So unnecessary and so long.
but you know what? Visually pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was
You
cool.
know, especially after last week where it looks like, you know, a Tommy Wiseau movie.
Yeah, yeah, literally.
Or actually, that might even be generous because Tommy Wiseau's movies are expensive, or at least The Room was.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get this scene of some like child molester essentially being interviewed or audited by this demon-like character um, played by played by the director Gary
Yeah.
Tunnicliffe.
Well, even before
Um,
that, though, we get this little
oh
scene of them of Pinhead and him talking to each
yes,
other, and he's like, the technology is like making people like jerk off too much on porn, and like we need to figure out how to get them, and like so we get that, which I kind of thought looked kind of cool. I don't know why
yeah,
it reminded me of like Darth Vader for some reason, like talking to somebody. And then they're like, we'll get him by mailing this child molester a letter and telling him like we can help, sort of thing.
right. So
And
that
then yeah,
he goes to this house, and this house is essentially a portal to hell.
yeah.
You know, instead of the puzzle box, you just walk through the door, and you're in some realm of hell. Um, and and then so he's being interviewed, and the auditor is typing everything he is saying with this old-fashioned typewriter, and we get another character enter in
hmm
and takes the paper that all this guy's sins are written on, soaks them in child's
Oh
tears, he
yeah.
says,
Yeah. He's like, "Ooh."
cuts it up with like it's a meal with a fork and knife, and eats the paper,
Yeah.
and proceeds to vomit the paper
Yeah.
into a funnel.
Yeah.
Now, this would have been the other moment that, like, if you ask me, what do I remember from this movie? This is the moment. And in the opening, to to be watching this, like, in the opening moments of this movie, after you've just binged this series, I'm just like, I want to turn this off.
Yeah. It's
You know,
gross.
it's so gross.
Yeah.
It's so gross.
I
And
was
look,
eating spaghetti literally
oh,
when I was watching
oh
the scene. I
man.
was just like, what the fuck? Can I like
Dude, it's nasty, and I'm no prude. Look,
No,
I'm no prude,
yeah,
like I'm all for, you know, certain kind of gruesome, special effects and stuff. But this is different. This to me,
yeah,
like Hellraiser 1 and 2 showed horribly grotesque things,
yeah,
but almost made them beautiful.
yeah.
Like
You were saying that, yeah.
that was the argument I was kind of trying to make in part two. Maybe
Hmm.
I'm crazy,
No, no, I get it.
um, but there was some craft, there was something appealing, about it. Um, this is just like, that is hard. What Hellraiser 1 and 2 did is hard to do. This is easy, just being kind
Yeah,
of gross.
it's very
It's
gross.
almost like a child's idea of what hell would be. It's like, oh, you gotta puke, and then somebody's gonna drink it, or it's like a jackass skit. Like it's like something that would be on Jackass. To me,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this isn't a. It's just kind of a very immature uh, version of hell.
You're right. Yeah, there's boobies, and then they get the
Yeah,
vomit
yeah,
on the
yeah.
boobies, and then yeah, it's
But it's literally only that one moment that lasts for longer than I wanted it to.
yeah, like
But
15 minutes.
but most of the other stuff I think is really kind of cool in this opening. We get this other kind of I don't think they're Cenobites. We get this other demon who this huge guy, and he's wearing this baby mask, and he
Mm,
has this, I think it's a woman on his back who has like a gas mask, and she comes in and like fillets this child molester. And
yeah.
I think just visually, um, a lot of this is pretty striking and leagues better than anything we got yesterday.
Mm,
But yeah, I think that moment of the dude vomiting, and then we get another kind of similar moment later. It's just like it's just like it really kind of, I don't know, maybe sets the tone for this movie for me, and
mm.
maybe I just never kind of I don't know, it's just kind of really unpleasant.
No, dude, I think that's fair. It's because it doesn't really add much to the actual. Oh, it adds nothing to the movie. I mean, they could have just had this auditor and then this guy like reading the papers and then judging him, and it could have just been that. It didn't need to be the vomiting and all that stuff.
Or
Uh,
just something more, like I'm all for, like, this guy's obviously, knows his stuff when it comes to like makeup effects.
mhm.
Like just something a little less like, I don't know. It's just like that isn't for me, you know.
Yeah, and at least in all the other ones, like this stuff is happening to the characters, and this is just like something that's happening like that doesn't really impact them at all. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's
Yeah.
like not even to torture him.
Yeah.
It's some kind of mechanism how these judges, I think they're called, these women,
Hmm.
judge if a um a person brought to hell is guilty or innocent, even though I
Yeah.
think he admitted all this stuff, so it's a confession. They like, in order to yeah, they put their hands in this other guy's vomit, and they know if
Yeah.
someone's guilty or innocent. It's just like, I feel like there's a better, more creative, less just kind of gross and silly way to accomplish this. But you know what, if I had to make this movie in 2 weeks, maybe I'd say maybe they just vomit, I don't know.
Yeah, well, after I paused it after that, because then I think the credits come up, and I was like, damn, that was like almost 20 minutes of this hour and 20-minute movie.
Wow.
And then the next hour is kind of just like a kind of like the other ones. It's just like a detective,
Yeah,
movie, and there's a serial killer, and it's kind of the same shit.
police
Um,
procedural.
yeah, but at least you get like two cops that are brothers, so you
Mhm.
kind of care about both of them. You learn a little bit about the main guy who's like a, veteran, and he's terrible to his wife, and he's obsessed with Bible quotes too, and the serial killer is, so it kind of like gives it away a
Yeah.
little earlier. And little tidbits throughout the movie, it was pretty obvious that the brother was cheating on the wife, because they say like he's like, "Hey you," when he answers the phone, and then there was something else. There was another little like tidbit of the brother. Anyway, so I felt like they kind of gave away plot points pretty early, but
Right.
I don't know. I the cop stuff I didn't care about at all. I was more
No.
interested in the lore that they were trying to expand upon a little bit in this, by introducing that Hell House and having
Mhm.
this like auditor, jury, whatever, and then having
Mhm.
angels at the end. And like I was way more interested in that than like, okay, there's a serial killer. Fuck it, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, definitely. And we don't get a whole lot of it. I was surprised again we don't get a whole lot of Pinhead,
Yeah. And he's
which
just like
is
sitting in a room like
yeah,
I'm
it's
so
it's
tired.
interesting. Especially, going back when you think about like all the arguments that happened during Bloodline,
Yeah.
and I'm sure this guy came, no disrespect to the actor. I think he does a fair job.
Yeah.
I'm sure he came a lot cheaper than Doug Bradley, so you'd think you'd want to use him, you know.
It's just
Um,
the eyes, dude. The eyes were like the voice and the eyes. That's what made it.
mhm,
Because the all black eyes, the other guy like just didn't look like that. The face looked a lot better on this. So yeah, overall, I was like okay with this guy doing it. Way more than the last time.
yeah.
But yeah, he doesn't really get a lot of screen time. Not to jump ahead to the end, but
Mhm,
I kind of liked the ending, the way that he got punished. Like I thought
mhm,
that was a cool idea.
mhm.
Um, but knowing how Bloodlines ends, he's got to get back somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Uh,
ends on a kind of a cool cliffhanger where Pinhead is made human and
yeah.
he's on Earth. I guess we'll just have to use our imaginations as to how that all turned out. Although I mentioned it in the last episode. There are some really cool Hellraiser comic books out there, and they do also
Mm.
go in that direction too.
Good. Yeah, dude, they should have done this so much earlier. Like introduce angels, introduce more demons and stuff like that. They touch upon a little bit in Bloodlines, with
Mhm.
Angelique and stuff, but like I don't know. That's what would have kept me so much more invested than just these one-off, just like random douchebag cops and whatever getting killed by Pinhead and random Cenobites. I don't know. Um, so I don't know. I enjoyed it a little bit. The angel character kind of sucked though. She was just
Mhm.
like whatever. Like,
Yeah.
she's
And it's
hot.
one of those things that on this budget, like how do you present that in a way that isn't completely cheesy? You
Yeah.
know, it's just
Yeah.
that kind of like a bright light and a
Well,
girl in all white.
her motivation though, I like still don't understand. They like keep the serial killer alive because they're like God wants to like strike fear into people to make them worship him more or something like that. I was like, what the fuck does
Yeah.
that mean? Like what? So they keep him alive.
Mhm.
But then he just immediately gets killed the second
Mhm.
and Pinhead's like, or you don't know anything about human nature. And it's like, wouldn't an angel know just as much as you? Like, what are you talking about? But I don't know. I mean, I just like the plot is just so by the book. It's literally seven, so I don't
Right.
even know if we need to really go over it too
No, I
much.
don't think so.
I mean, they're brothers. They introduce this other, female cop to come in, and she's watching the brother who ends up being the serial killer.
Mhm.
But but yeah, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if any of the kills were even good. I mean, they do the face rip thing at the end with the angel, and she says
Right.
Jesus wept, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
we're doing this.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, can you think of any other kills?
I mean, there's the. I mean, it's mostly them finding bodies, like in Seven,
Yeah.
kind of after the fact. So there is this woman who they find dead, and she actually had her dog sewn up
Oh,
inside her.
that was gross. That
Yeah,
was actually, I was like,
yeah,
oh God, what is that gonna be?
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm,
Um, I mean, just a side note, like I said, I thought that opening scene was pretty impressive visually,
yeah.
but then the movie's pretty inconsistent because like when we after we leave the opening credits and we go over to this woman who ends up dead, like it looks like a high-end adult film. Like
Yeah.
that's like I mean, but of course, it's a very cheap, rushed movie. So it
Yeah,
is what it is.
the dialogue was too. She's like,
Oh
well,
my
what are you
God.
doing here? I guess I'd fuck you because you're here. And I was like,
It's
oh man.
it's embarrassing.
And then the serial killer kills her. I can't even remember what he says, but he's like, I'm serving justice or something. Just like slices her throat. I don't even know.
Yeah, I think that it is seven, but instead of the seven deadly sins, I think it's like the Ten Commandments,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
And she was like, I don't even know,
I'm
coveting
not
her
sure,
dog as a baby.
right? I'm not sure what commandment
Yeah,
she
what is that?
broke. Yeah, I don't
Uh,
know. But I'm probably committing the same one.
yeah, you love your dog. Daisy's
Yeah, of
awesome.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so yeah, and then it kind of sucks because if you hated that disgusting scene from the beginning, they just do it again later.
Right.
Which also is like it's just so weird because they capture the lead guy. We don't know at this point he's the killer, but you know, he we know he was in the military, so he's done some bad stuff.
Hmm.
And they're auditing him basically, and the guy goes to eat it and he can't even handle it. It's so evil what this guy's done. So he throws it all up, and then they just. But then the scene even gets grosser because then the girls come in and pour like they start spitting in a cup and then pour that spit into his mouth. I was like, what is this? What is this?
That's what I mean. Like this isn't even it's not that I'm so appalled, because it's more like this is like a jackass stunt.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I fully prepare I fully expect to see really depraved acts in a Hellraiser movie,
yeah,
but this to me is just it's just gross, you
yeah.
know.
Yeah, so he's choking on the spit. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
And then the angel interferes and she's just like, let him go. He's innocent. And it's like, no, he's fucking not. Like, what is happening? But he gets away. And then, yeah, he's like, he goes away with the female cop and then reveals who he is at at his headquarters or whatever. And we get this really dumb scene with the cop, or with like the forensics guy with the phone. He's like, it's an iPhone 7. That's pretty good, or whatever. And that gives away the location of his lair. And then, yeah, we get like a really quick, like kind of student film, kind of like, wait, my brother reads this book, and that book has the same. Oh my God. And then he just goes there. He calls his wife, he calls his brother, and he thinks he kills his partner. Is the lament configuration even in this?
Yeah, I think the cop steals it when he's in the house
From who?
from I think the auditor.
Oh, right, 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 right.
Yeah.
When they let him go. Or no, he
Hmm.
like escapes, right? Doesn't
Yeah.
he like beat
Yeah, I think so.
people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah, when the
think
other's talking to the angel, he comes back and he's like, what the fuck happened in here? Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And I think that's how Pinhead is summoned at the very end for the climax.
Right. Yes, you're right. And then he tries to fuck with it again, and that's when his
Hmm.
arms get like brought up again. Because
Yeah.
it's like that easy. Like you
Yeah.
just got the box, you're like, and all of a sudden it's like, no, and it like
Yeah.
hits Pinhead. You're like, what? But yeah. So then when he knocks out the woman, he gets like sucked into something because then he comes out, and then his brother and wife come, and then he just goes crazy. He's like, get up against the wall, I have a gun, and then.
He makes them do the puzzle box.
That's
Yeah.
right to bring
And
Pinhead.
I
Jesus,
think
we just watched
yeah, yeah.
this.
I think am I confusing it with yesterday's movie? Does he just want to make a deal with Pinhead? Because I know
Yeah.
the kid. So the kid in yesterday's movie wanted to do the same thing.
Yep.
Everyone just want
He's like, their souls for mine, and he's just
Okay.
like, no, again,
Right,
like
right.
I'm
Yeah.
not doing that. And then they, yeah, like pin his hands up, and then they kill them. So the wife
Mhm.
must just be like, what is happening? Like literally, I don't know anything that's going on. I mean, at least the brother knows there's like a serial killer and he's been like exposed to the dark stuff, but like the wife must just be like, she gets sucked apart by a chain into like the netherworld, and then yeah, the angel comes and is like, spare him. He is like of God. It's like, is he? And then he comes out, and immediately when the lady with her head bashed in, who Pinhead should probably think is dead.
Mhm.
It's not like she was sitting there like waiting for him. Like we all thought she was dead too. He's like repeatedly bashing her head open with like a gun. So you're like, oh, okay, he killed her. And then the second he comes out of the box, she's like, bam, and shoots him in the head. And Pinhead's like, ha ha, I knew it. It's like, did you? You knew that lady was alive and she was like ready to go and didn't immediately run out when she gained consciousness? Like, okay. Um, and then yeah, the angel gets killed by Pinhead. And then right after that, the auditor is just like, we shouldn't have done that. And then Pinhead's like, nothing can stop me. I'm evil or whatever. And then he becomes a homeless guy. And he's like, no, my life. So, you know.
Apparently, there was a post-credit scene,
Oh yeah, the
and
Mormons,
I
right?
didn't see it. I read
Yeah.
that there is one,
Yeah.
but I think I couldn't wait to hit stop on
Nah, yeah.
this.
It
Oh, I
doesn't.
have one
Yeah.
more thing I need to bring up though. Oh,
Yeah,
go,
yeah.
do you want to tell me about the post-credit scene?
Oh no, it's literally I think they were Mormons and they knock on the Ludovic house or whatever and he's just like, "Hello there." Like whatever
Oh,
the auditor and yeah, it wasn't too
okay.
great.
So you text me about this. I had forgotten, but Heather Langenkamp is in this
Oh
movie.
yeah, yeah. I know it's like, "Oh, she's fourth build. She's in this movie for like 15 seconds. It's like four
So,
lines."
and my theory, I didn't find any proof of this,
It's
but
not.
her
I
it's
looked it up. It's not. Her husband's nothing to do with this.
so what was she doing in this movie?
I don't know. Yeah, I looked
I
up her
can't imagine
husband.
she just did this because she wanted a gig. I mean, someone must know her and she
Yeah.
did him a favor.
That's what I
Yeah.
think. Because
Yeah.
you said that, and then I looked up who her husband was. I looked at his
Hmm.
IMDb, and he didn't work on this. So I was just like,
Interesting.
he is a makeup artist, so he probably had a friend that was just like, dude, they
Yeah.
like she's great. Like it would
Right.
really, for that very niche horror fan to be like, oh,
Mhm.
you know.
So believe it or not, I own this film.
I know. I was
And
gonna say you bought both of them, right? The
yes,
Revelations
yeah.
and this.
I had all of them except these last two. And I'm like, you know what? We're covering them. I'd like to watch the special features. But
Joe, hold on one second. I think. Oh wait. Never mind. Sorry. Never mind.
mhm, that's
Sorry,
okay.
I thought it dropped out. Sorry.
I figure we're covering them.
Yeah,
I want to watch the special features, and but I'm also moving right now,
that's right.
so
Yeah.
I boxed up all of my movies, and I'm like, you know what? This movie is streaming on Tubi, and if I'm not mistaken, Heather Langenkamp is giving top billing
On
on
Tubi.
when you click it on Tubi. It says starring Heather Langenkamp. Yes, this is a glorified cameo at best,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, so that's hilarious.
You know what it
But
reminds me of? Do you know Little Shop of Horrors, the 1960s one?
oh yeah.
It's got Jack Nicholson on the cover,
Yes.
and he's like one line, and like he like walked on stage, he's like, "Oh, there's the potted plant or whatever," and that's it. And it's like
Oh, really?
starring Jack Nicholson, yeah, like the re-releases that came out in like the 90s and stuff like that.
Oh,
The
that's
VHS tapes, it's like Jack Nicholson on the box.
well, I've only seen the 80s one,
Me
but
too.
I always knew Jack Nicholson was in the old one. I didn't
Yep.
know it was like that.
That's how they promoted it after Jack Nicholson's career took off. They're
Of
like,
course.
check it out. So it's kind of like this, but imagine like
Yeah.
Heather Langkamp's on the cover of this movie and
Interesting.
be like, oh
And
God.
you know something else I noticed watching the opening credits was that Harvey Weinstein wasn't listed as an
Mm,
executive producer, and I think on all the others he is. It's Bob and Harvey.
yep.
And this movie was actually shelved because it was right around the time the allegations started.
Yep. No, I did notice that too. It just said Bob, and I was like, interesting,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, and then I think when this movie was released is when the Weinstein Company just went away. You
Yeah.
know, I don't remember when they might have parted ways with Miramax a couple of movies ago.
I think it was a while ago.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then they had the Weinstein Company. They
Yeah.
took Dimension with them. These were all Dimension movies, and then but by the time this got released, I think Lionsgate put this out.
Yeah. And now Disney owns it. I
And now,
think.
yeah, I mean, and I guess yeah, Disney has some hand in it because
It's a
they own
Hulu.
Hulu.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, it's changed so many hands. We're so far from the New World Picture days.
exactly. Yeah, I miss those days.
Me
Some
too.
great logos in this series. New
Mm,
World and Dimension bring back so many memories.
yeah, but it's not the worst,
Yeah.
and I'd say for the original series, I guess it's better to go out on this than like Revelations, you know. So I don't
Well,
know.
we'll get to our ranking
Yeah,
shortly,
yeah,
but I just want to say that this was a lot of fun. You know,
yeah.
despite you know the quality of some of these movies, I think the story of this franchise
Hmm.
is just so interesting.
No,
You
you're
know,
right.
when I mean we have brilliant, creative minds like Clive Barker working on it, and characters like the Weinsteins, and theatrical releases, direct to video, whatever these last two movies are. It's interesting to follow a franchise and see the weird turns it takes. And this is just such a crazy business, and nothing makes that clearer than reading up on this franchise.
It's so weird because like you see a franchise that like there's so much love and care and
Mhm.
creativity and everything put behind it, and then you see the as the franchise continues, it's like who is this even for? Like the
Mhm.
fans aren't enjoying them.
Yeah.
Like is it truly just to maintain rights? Which is like, but even then, like are these movies even making money at this
Yeah.
point? So you're right. The series. The trajectory of the series is as interesting as some of the plots of these
Oh,
movies.
totally, if not more. And
Yeah.
yeah, no doubt many of these movies exist just for greed, you know?
That's what it seems like,
And
but it's almost like it's not like they're making that much
right.
money. So like
Yeah.
how much greed is even in like
I think just the possibility of making money down the road, or
yeah,
at
you're right.
least to make sure somebody else doesn't make any money.
That's true too. And I think we've reached the end here. So right this second, 2022 is the last, you know, feature length film or anything that has had to do with Hellraiser. There is a game coming out, Revival, which I keep seeing things on YouTube and they're like, how is this game going to be released? It's going to be like adult only, kind of like, it's going to be so intense. And I'm like, oh my God. So if the game does well, if it garners attention, I've heard there's an HBO Max show. Like that's always kind of like on the burner in the background. I would be surprised if they don't make a Hellraiser 2. I thought it was kind of successful, the Hulu one, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I feel like it was received well enough.
Yeah,
But in this strange world we live in now of streaming, like we don't really know how successful things are. We don't see
yeah.
the numbers, and I'm always kind of cautious to believe anything from Rotten Tomatoes. And I just don't know. I don't know, like, it's just so hard to judge, like, what deserves a sequel, what doesn't. It's just, and yeah, I don't know. And then so sorry, I lost my train of
No,
thought.
no. No, I just, with Doug Bradley, kind of they've been able to fix the franchise. Like they didn't pull a Freddy where it's
Mhm,
like, damn, this didn't really work as well as we thought. So they're able to bridge that gap. At least the 2022 one was like well shot, and I think the reviews were decent. So it's not
mhm,
like, compared to all of these, which are just like, oh, these are just trash. At least this one has something. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be something in the
mhm,
future, like something, maybe they'll start delving into the comics and try to make that into the TV series. Who knows? And
mhm,
especially if this Camp Crystal Lake show does well,
mhm,
Chucky did well, Ash vs. Evil Dead did well. So like maybe they'll transition into television. Who
mhm.
knows?
Yeah. And it does seem like these horror franchises have difficulty breaking away from the way we remember them, the way we recognize them. Like we haven't had a Nightmare on Elm Street since 2010. They tried it with Jackie Earl Haley.
Yeah,
And that's probably the toughest nut to crack.
yeah,
I mean, we got a one and done Friday the 13th remake in '09.
yeah,
Uh, I mean, the Halloween movies went in different directions, but then kind of came back with Jamie Lee and kind of continued a different timeline, only acknowledging the original. So it is interesting. You know, does Hellraiser kind of go back to something more? I mean, I guess Doug Bradley's a bit long in the tooth now,
yeah.
but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, what the future holds for this franchise.
Yeah, really. And last thing, then we'll jump into our ranking. But
Mhm.
I kind of wish they didn't name this Hellraiser movie Hellraiser because it is not a remake. It's not a reboot. It's
It's
like
yeah, it's just what they do now,
I know, and I
for
really
no.
hate that because
Yep.
this like it truly has nothing to do with the original one. So it's like,
Hmm.
and it's like not a I guess I don't know. It's like in all of these movies, like they're kind of sequels, but like they're just kind of out of sequence moments of Pinhead and his like gash or whatever they're called. Um, so I don't know. That really it should have been called like Hellraiser. I don't know, banishment or
Hmm.
something. Just like some cool word,
Yeah.
salvation or
But
something.
that kind of goes back to what I was trying to articulate last week about how kind of tarnished I feel
Yeah,
the Hellraiser brand had become. Like maybe,
yeah, you're
they
probably right.
probably really wanted to drive it home. Like, guys, this this has nothing to do with any of those other movies you saw.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
and I find that annoying too, but I get the thought behind it.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, because this series has been dragged through the mud so much. But
Mhm.
all right, so should we jump into our rankings, Joe?
I'm ready if you are.
So yeah, we did include the original and the remake in these ones, even though we didn't cover it, Joe and I, but
Mhm.
they're, we've seen them. So we included those in there. So basically I thought I would go from my lowest to highest, and then,
That sounds good. I might have some hot takes,
oh
so
man. All
just
right.
brace yourself.
Do you want to go first?
Sure.
All right.
All right. This is tough. I feel like as we get to the top, it's probably there's not many surprises,
Yeah, yeah.
but
It's so easy
down,
for me.
yeah, down here at the bottom, and I'm only I really want to, speak to how I felt about these movies this go round,
Yeah, yeah.
and Hellraiser Judgment was the toughest watch for me.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
This one was the
Yeah.
hardest of all of
Yeah.
them?
Yeah. I just found it
Whoa.
so unpleasant.
Damn.
And
That all right. No
I
throw
don't
up for Joe.
I yeah, that is not my kink. And no shame to anyone who's into
Yeah,
that
of
stuff,
course.
but look though, like I said, there is so much about this movie that is an improvement over Revelations. Like it's such a difficult decision for me, but if I'm being honest,
Yeah, please.
Judgment was a harder watch than Revelations for
Hey,
me.
dude, I
And
get
it
it.
could be just because, like I said, we binged these. Um, but yeah, like it has some great visuals, really cool effects, but a tough watch. Judgment, very last for me.
Damn. Surprising.
Yep.
Oh,
Do
should I go my last? Oh,
or do you
okay.
want me? Yeah, what you want to go back and forth?
Yeah, let's do
Or
it.
not?
All right,
Yeah.
why not? So my lowest is Hellseeker. I
Okay.
maybe that's crazy. I don't know. I just thought it was so generic,
Yeah.
and especially coming after Inferno, I was just like, this is just it's the same fucking movie. And then
Mhm.
Kirsty, they just dropped the ball so hard. So I was just like, this just feels like a waste.
Mhm.
And then just to learn that if like the next one was gonna be kind of similar too, I was like, fuck. But for some reason, this one just I don't know. I didn't like
Yeah.
anything about it. So.
Fair enough. I'll speak on that when I get to it
Yeah,
in my ranking.
for sure.
So my
10.
next up for so it's 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just mark that. So 10 for me is Revelations. And it could easily be at the bottom. I mean, it probably should be at the bottom. I mean, this is I mean, to call it a student film is generous, But it is what it is, cheap, shot cheap and dirty, and it's kind of a miracle that it probably turned out as good as it did. It
Yeah.
has some passable effects, an absolutely embarrassing Pinhead. Uh, no offense to the actor. Um, yeah, that's my number 10. It could be 11. Tomorrow it might be 11. Today it's 10.
Well, mine is also Hellraiser Revelations. My 10 spot. Yeah, dude. Same everything you just said. Yeah, it was just
Mhm.
boring. The only thing that makes it not the last is that like at least they tried to add some lore from the original movies to make it, have any connection. But yeah, this one was rough. So,
Yeah.
all right, what's your number 9?
It is Hellseeker.
9, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
on similar pages here.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Just, I mean, boring, dull. I mean, such a wasted opportunity with Kirsty. Um, what else could you say?
Yeah, dude. My number nine is Deader. Which, I guess you could change that out with my number eight and number nine, but I don't
Hmm.
know. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of like it more than I put it there. But I don't know. I didn't like the ending. I kind of felt like it was just a wasted opportunity with the cult thing. I don't know. I just didn't love it, but damn, now I'm kind of questioning. But anyways, it's there. Number nine, Deader, Deader.
All right.
Worst title too. Worst title of
Oh,
all.
the worst.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Here's where people might think I'm being a little cheeky. I'm gonna put the Hulu movie at 8.
At eight? Whoa.
And I know it has no business being there if we're just talking about, you know, craft and, competency. Obviously it is a much better, more professional movie than many of the movies I put above it.
Yeah.
But and I have only seen it once, probably the day it dropped on Hulu.
Oh, okay.
I do want to go back. I wish I could have gone back
Yeah.
before this, so I wouldn't embarrass myself like I'm probably doing now by putting it solo. But it was very disappointing. Like that, I've said it many times on the show. I was going through not only all the Hellraiser movies, but like I was reading Clive Barker. I read the Hellbound Heart. I was so psyched for this movie, and
Yeah.
I thought it just really left me cold. So again, it's a better movie than some of these I'm going to name, but some of these that are above it, I've had fun with. And the one and only time I watched the Hulu movie, it was not fun. It was disappointing. So that's where it is.
Yeah, dude. I haven't seen it in a long time either, but from what I recollect, I liked it more than you. But all right, so my number eight is Hellworld. Um, you know, it was
Yeah.
different. Henry Cavill is fun. I just thought it was really confusing. We talked about it just for confusion's sake, it seemed. Cool poster, like the poster, but again, as most of these movies, just a missed opportunity. Just really could have expanded the internet and had the internet and hell kind of like, be one and have it go all worldwide. That would have been cool, but
Hmm.
we didn't get that. So,
I'll speak on Hellworld when we get there. But my number seven is Deader.
yep,
I
yep, yep.
think, it at least, when you're watching them in order, at least it's visually a lot better than Hellseeker.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just a better looking movie, just a better movie altogether to me.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, a pretty good performance from the lead actress,
Yeah.
a mystery that I'm semi intrigued by, but yeah, leaves me a bit cold too.
The Colt idea was cool. They just dropped
Yeah,
the ball. They
right.
dropped the ball.
Hmm.
All right, so my number seven. Damn, dude. Judgment. I don't know. I just thought it like, takeout. I agree. The throw up stuff was gross, but I just like compared to everything else, I was like, finally, we get to learn there's more than just Cenobites and there's other demon people and there's an order to this thing and um the Angels was lame, but at least I was like, this
Hmm.
is a cool idea, but they dropped the ball, but so it's not good, but I guess I enjoyed it more than some of the other ones.
No, that's fair enough. And you're 100% right. Like, and on paper, I'd be like, yes, this is like, we need this. This sounds great. And then just the experience of watching it for me was just misery.
Well, the acting, I will say the acting I feel like is slightly better than average for these ones. I don't know why. When I
Mhm.
was watching it, I wasn't like I didn't hate the characters and the acting as much.
I could tell you more things I liked in Deader or in Judgment by a lot,
Hmm.
um, over Revelations, but I
Yeah.
still ranked it lower.
Yeah, it blows
Um,
me in my
yeah,
mind.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
Whatever. All right, what's your seven?
uh, seven is Deader, so I'm
Oh,
on six. Six is Hellworld, which has no business being this high. I mean, people are gonna think I'm taking the piss out of this list, but like I said in that episode, I remember watching that for the first time on TV, not really giving it my full attention and
Yeah.
having a really good time with it. Just kind of like Lance Henriksen, the whole kind of, slasher movie, haunted house vibe of it, the kind of teen slasher vibe of it, I found fun, and I think every time I've watched it, I I probably like it a little bit less, but I remember that original kind of viewing experience that was fun. And yeah, I just feel like it's just a little bit less of a drag than some of these other movies.
You're not wrong. You're
Mhm,
not wrong. Yeah, Lance Hendrickson, he's a man,
mhm.
so that gives
Yeah.
him a little extra point.
Yeah.
All right, so my number six
Yep.
is Inferno. I think I was just surprised.
Hmm.
At this point, I was like, oh, these are going to be so bad.
Yeah.
And it wasn't terrible. The lead is like the worst. I mean, like
Hmm.
just, this series, one thing they do is they just test your patience on like how much can you hate the lead character that you're supposed to be rooting for.
Hmm.
Um, but otherwise, like, Scott Derrickson was cool to see his like, earlier directorial work. And at this stage, this idea wasn't boring, I was like,
Hmm.
okay, cool. Like, it's a cop drama with the Pinhead, and I don't know. I didn't hate it.
Hmm.
Maybe if I watch it again knowing what comes later, I won't like it as much, but
Hmm.
I don't know. For the time being, for the first straight to DVD or straight to VHS, I didn't hate it.
Yeah. Hmm.
But that's my
Yeah.
six.
My five is Inferno. It
Eh,
probably shouldn't be because on that episode, I said that I kind of preferred it this viewing to Bloodline. And
oh yeah.
maybe I should, hold to that. But today, since we're doing the ranking today, I feel like I can't do that. Yeah, I feel like I got to put Bloodline ahead of it, but um, yeah, I think Inferno is better than it has any right to be. You
Hmm.
know, if it just had a more satisfying ending, I really feel like it could be kind of a bit of a cult classic.
Hmm.
But yeah, yeah, I mean, it's got some cool visuals. Obviously, Scott Derrickson has gone on to big things. Still a movie worth checking out to me.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. You won't if you're doing what we're doing by the time you get to this, you'll be like, you'll be
Oh,
probably exactly how I was,
you'll be begging for this by the time you get to the end.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man. So my number five is Bloodline. So, dude, genuinely surprised. Wish I stayed in theaters to watch it with you that time at the New Bev. Like, I liked this one. Very different. I love how it still continued the story from the first three, to a degree. And it is the official ending to the Hellraiser series in the
Mhm.
chronological, story order or whatever. Um, yeah. So Adam Scott, that was cool. And I don't know, man. Angelique was sick. So I
Mhm.
liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Four for me is Bloodline. It's going to get really predictable from here on in, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Bloodline, it just holds a special place in my heart. I saw it as a kid in theaters. I saw it recently in theaters again at the
Yep.
New Bev. Um, and it's part of that Dimension Films era that I have so much fondness for. Like that, Halloween 6, The Crow City of Angels, Scream, all came out within probably a year and a half of each other,
Hmm.
and I was just eating all that stuff up. Um, the movie as it is, it's kind of one of those just I see a much better movie in it. And it's too bad that, all the shit that went down behind the scenes. As it is, it's still, still a pretty entertaining movie.
Definitely. No, definitely.
Mhm.
That people should not, just because I see Pinhead in space doesn't mean it's Leprechaun in space.
Yeah.
All right. So my number four. From what I remember, I enjoyed the Hulu one a little bit more. Again, this isn't really fair because I haven't seen that one same as you since it came out. But when it came out, I didn't hate it. Now,
Yeah.
to be fair, I didn't see all of the Hellraiser movies. At that point, I think I'd only seen the first two. So now I do. I'm gonna probably rewatch it this weekend just so I can get a better idea because I just want to know where it goes. I know it's a group of friends. I know they go to a mansion. I know there's more lament configuration, like different types of them. But yeah, I can't remember the person who did Pinhead. I can't remember how much I liked them, but you know,
Mhm.
I don't know. I gotta check
Yeah.
it out again. Maybe I'll be totally wrong, but I'd like to watch it again.
I'm gonna revisit it too, and then I'm probably gonna wish we could re-record this this episode. But hey, I gotta live with it. So yeah, it stands at number 8 for me. But number 3
Yep.
is Hell on Earth.
Hmm.
And that, I mean, that if you ask me as if I when I was a kid, that was my favorite, you know,
Yeah.
because that was the movie that put kind of Pinhead front and center and kind of tried to turn him into this horror icon. And I still think it's a lot of fun. It's very silly at times, but still a lot of fun. And you know, something I appreciate about the original four movies is that there was this continuity, you know,
Hmm.
before they threw that all out the window. So yeah, Hell on Earth 3.
That's my number three too. Yeah, dude, I was really happy with this one. You know, first time I'd seen it, always loved the poster, always loved the idea of Pinhead in Manhattan. I love how it carries over, like literally the hell statue or whatever, his face, you know, from the second one to this one, love that. Um, Probably, you know, if you're religious, this is probably the most offensive one, I would say, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, dude, this is Doug Bradley just like eating the scenery. Like this is his movie for sure. So if you like Pinhead, you've always, you know, you saw the first Hellraiser, you're like, where the fuck is Pinhead? This is the one you want to see. But all that being said, it's still not the best movie, but it's probably the most fun. You know,
Yeah.
It's Muppet Takes Manhattan, but with Pinhead.
Number 2, I'm gonna go with Hellbound, Hellraiser 2. I mean, this and the first one, I feel like maybe more than any other one-two punch in horror kind of go together, you know.
Hmm.
So it could be a toss-up what I like better. But this one, I feel like it does what all good sequels do.
Yeah.
It takes what you love about that first movie, expands it, makes it bigger. I was blown away by this movie. But I mean, I've seen it plenty of times. Um, but this viewing especially, I was just like so impressed with it. All the incredible effects, the matte paintings, stop motion, all the things I love. Yeah, just pretty spectacular.
Yeah, dude. Same as you. I got Hellbound as number two. I
Oh,
was,
really?
yeah,
That's
I
kind of a
know.
surprise.
I know. I was thinking about it and rewatching it. I thought I liked it better than the original, but then I was
Yeah,
just like, I don't know. I mean, the
yeah,
original is just like, it's, it's the same as you. It depends on like the mood I'm in,
yeah,
you know?
totally.
But yeah, so my number two is Hellraiser 2. I did say I liked it more than the
Mhm.
original one, but
That's all right. I would appreciate if we are able to, you know, go back and change this.
I'm sure
You
we
know,
will.
I mean, don't hold me to this for all time.
Of
Um,
course.
but I think the one thing you can hold me to for all time is that the first Hellraiser is my favorite. And, you know, as a kid, when I saw this movie, I talked about it in our Hellbound episode. I wasn't really crazy about it. I wasn't crazy about Hellbound either. You know, they were just kind of, they weren't what I was looking for as a kid. But, you know, so many of the very kind of adult themes in the movie went right over my head. But now I appreciate them, and I think it's pretty brilliant. And yeah, I love it. Read the book, and yeah, a classic.
No, you're very well versed in the you know, the canon and the peripheral extended universe of Hellraiser. Yeah, I think the thing I took away from this the most in comparison to like almost every other horror franchise of this kind of longevity is there's really not it's not funny at all. Like there's almost
Mhm.
no comedy in any of them, like at all. and there's really not teens with the exception of Hellworld. Like, so I feel like that is what really sets this aside is it's not like a teen-centric, group of kids just getting murdered by a killer. And there's really no levity in any sort of comedic way. So
Mhm.
if that sounds like your kind of horror, then do it up. A little bit of religious symbolism, sort of, we think. I don't know. It's vague. I don't even think they know, honestly, at this point. So, but yeah, I'm still really happy I did this. Makes me want to do like Amity or Puppet Master or something.
Children of
So,
the Corn.
Children of the Corn. Also, this is probably something you'd much rather do, but like finishing out a director's, filmography, like doing all of the Wes Craven movies we haven't covered or all of the
Yeah.
John Carpenter, something like that.
I mean, a Clive Barker would be really easy. It's
Right.
just it's Hellraiser, which we didn't talk about. You've talked about it, but
Yeah.
we didn't recover it. So we could like do the Clive Barker catalog, do
Mm.
Hellraiser, Nightbreed, and Lord of Illusions.
He only did those three?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like I was thinking about that. I mean, I think for a creative like genius like him who also, writes novels and paints,
Mhm.
like movies are not for him because, you have to deal with executives and focus groups and like two out of the three movies he did, were very compromised.
Hmm.
So Nightbreed and Lord of Illusions. I don't think Lord of Illusions was super compromised, but he did have to cut like 10 minutes out of it or something. But so yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that like he didn't do much more in Hollywood.
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen Lord of Illusion. That's the only one I haven't seen. But dude, I mean, he's an artist, like a true artist, it seems like. So I can understand why if you're not making an indie film that's really all yours and they'll let you do whatever you want, then yeah, that's not gonna be fun. So you might as well get back to painting and writing and doing stuff that you fully have control over. Um, but dude, thank you. Thank you so much for doing this, walking me through the series. And, I hope everybody enjoyed listening in and joining us day after day. And, maybe we'll do something like this next year. But I'm glad we did this. I've always wanted to do something like this, and I'm glad it was with this series. So thank you, Joe.
Oh, thanks for having me. Like I said, this was a lot of fun. There was some pain, but a lot of pleasure too. So thanks again.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening in to all of our episodes. And again, finally, I'm sure you already know this, but if you want to listen to Hellraiser 1 or the remake, just type them into YouTube, Spotify, Apple, whatever, and you can listen to those and then follow along with us, for these 10 days or whatever we did it for, 9 days. Um, but yeah, so thank you very much, everybody, and we'll see you on Monday with something. I don't know what it is, but happy Halloween, happy Halloween, you know. Thanks, guys.